Hi, this is the Team 2 presentation on a new website, mobile app called EcoSquad. Those who will be presenting today include Megan Derrick, Sonia Dunn, and Diana Schmitz. So the agenda for this presentation will include an overall overview of EcoSquad. So what is it? Why was the site created? Some of the competitive research that was performed, a summary of the business strategies and techniques, an overview of personas that apply to the EcoSquad site, the product requirements for the site, user experience design map, the scope for phase 2, some of the deliverables that we anticipate, and then some closure and some next steps we plan to take. So an overview of EcoSquad. So our project idea was to develop a website where people can share ideas, create projects, discover resources, and work together as a team to promote a cleaner living within communities and the environment. So to start out with, our competitive research that we did was on 3 different sites, well, some of the 3 main sites. We did other sites as well. But first one I want to talk about is Sustainable Connections. They're a nonprofit organization that want local businesses to contribute to a healthy environment and the well-being of citizens. It also serves as a forum where businesses meet to build the economy on sustainable practices. Some of the advantages of this site, they had donations. So you could make a tax deductible donation via check or credit card. Something that was lacking in their donations, however, was you weren't aware of where your money was being donated to. They didn't provide any indication of that. It's just kind of like a blind donation. And then the membership, they contain memberships with different benefits. So you could go to networking events, educational meetings. You would get email announcements every other week. There's an annual membership meeting, and so on. Some of the hindrances of the site, they didn't have any social networking, no Facebook, no Twitter, no connections to any of these. The text was quite wordy on the site, or content heavy, so it wasn't really easy to read. And it lacked user interaction. It didn't engage the user at all. It was more of, except for the site, we do this, we do that. It was much more informative. Some of the opportunities that came out of this research was to search by location. So they actually had the capability of searching by location for opportunities for greener living. To offer memberships and then donations, and further donations we would want to consider making it not blind, but allowing the user to see exactly where their money is going. Another competitor we looked at was TakePart. Some of the advantages of this site is they have connections to top news organizations from around the world. It was very user friendly. The user topography was very strategic, and the content was really easy to read. Their use of color was great. It was very limited and reserved just for buttons. Oh no. And it was also very engaging. There was multiple ways for the user to interact with the site. It also contains several photographs. It was very vibrant, and a lot of photographs were linkable. Some of the hindrances of the site, this one as well was pretty content heavy. Again, this site was heavily focused on informing the user, so there's lots of text, lots of photos. There was also some ads, which was quite distracting to the site and take away from the site, but we assumed it was part of the revenue strategic approach. And then navigational names, they weren't really intuitive. There were a couple of the headers that you weren't really sure when you clicked on it where you were going to go. Some of the opportunity, or one of the opportunities that came out of this site, would be the ability to remove ads. So it's good to have them for revenue, but we also want to be able to remove them. Last site is Change by Us New York City. Some of the advantages of this site we found were they were sponsored. So with sponsorship, it's definitely an advantage. It was also very engaging. The users could put an idea they had for a project on a little sticky note and post it to the site. So it's pretty interactive, very easy to read. Also, so very user friendly. And it also used social media, so Facebook, Twitter. Some of the hindrances, the design was rather outdated. It didn't have any mobile apps. But some opportunities that came out of the site would be to expand. This one was just focused on New York City, so we want to kind of keep their approach with the projects and whatnot, but expand onto the East Coast and eventually nationwide. And then to gain some sponsorship through other organizations. Next, I'm going to talk about the business summary. So this will cover vision, strategies, tactics, technology, and metrics. So first, the vision. A vision of our site is to provide a location for people to team up and generate products aimed at helping the community and the environment be a healthier place to live. The audience includes educated men and women who are concerned and passionate, are very environmentally conscious, so they're passionate about the environment. People who buy organic, natural products or tend to seek those over things with additives and at the bigger supermarkets. Educators, so people who are interested in teaching or educating children about how to keep the planet clean. College graduates, and then businesses who are interested in reducing waste. So some of our business goals, we want to create a following of users. So we want at least 500,000 members, and we want to get this in the first 6 months. We want to build our brand and become one of the leading experts in the community, the green community. So we want to get 10 major projects with a national nonprofit organization. And we want to sell advertising and get some revenue. So we want to secure $1 million in funding in the first year. Next, I'm going to talk about some of our tactics. So first, we want to make use of the social media. So allow users to create accounts with social media profiles in Facebook and Twitter. We want the site to be very attractive, have visuals that are engaging. We want it to be interactive, so we want it to have media features, infographics, polling, allow users to share content through various channels like Tumblr, Google+, Twitter. We want to reward or recognize our users. We could reward them when they recruit somebody, so adding a new member to the community, or recognize when they have been part of the community or part of a member for, say, 1 or 3 6-month anniversary, so we can grant them, give them words of praise. Marketing, we want to create a sales sheet for marketing reps to explain the benefits of the site and create a target list of key projects that businesses want to go after. We want to reach out. We want to reach out to public relations, which will help us connect with organizations, other organizations within the industry. And we want to provide initial ad spaces and give discounts to certain strategic partners who support our site and our vision and goals. And attend key industry events and conferences to meet some key decision makers and influencers. Next, technology. Our site needs to be backwards compatible to all web browsers. It needs to be mobile friendly. Prefer an app for the mobile device. And site content must be ADA compliant. Some of the metrics would be the site traffic, so seeing how many views and visitors we get, how many times the page was reviewed, top referrals, how much time the mobile app is used, the number of new registrations, the number of referrals from others, the number of projects launched, the external media, so the total number of impressions, the click through rates, the total number of conversions, um, and then the revenue, the total number of ads sold, the ad sales, and crowdfunding.
Her local coffee shop. She graduated with a bachelor's of science and used to volunteer when she was in college with different groups that focused on human rights and the environment. She worked on a few projects when she was in college that focused on different green activities, such as building a greenhouse at an elementary school within the community, and she met a lot of great people doing that. Since graduating from college, she has had a hard time finding a full-time position, and she's hoping that she can get back into volunteering her time and becoming actively involved with one group that she can perhaps make some new connections, network a little bit, and also do something that she's passionate about, like helping the environment and making it a better place and her community a better place. So she is our prime user. People like Stephanie would be really passionate about the environment and do things in their daily lives that are a more green choice, like bringing their own bags to the grocery store or growing their own food, going to the farmers markets, things like that, buying organic soaps and things like that. So she's very passionate, and she is ready to make a difference and sort of help herself out in the long term. Our secondary personas are Josh and Greta. Josh is a full-time college student, and he's very busy with his classes and some of his other extracurriculars, but he's also very interested in gaining some volunteer experience for his resume and to build some personal skills and do a little bit of networking, and but all at the same while doing it for something that he believes in. And then there's Greta, our other secondary persona. She is a concerned citizen of the world, and she practices environmental positivity a little bit more than our average person. She works for a very large company as a project management coordinator. She has just been given the opportunity within her company to lead a few green initiatives within the company, whether it's starting a composting program or switching to cardboard instead of styrofoam in the cafeteria, things like that. So she's in charge of gathering all these people at her workplace and sort of managing them, and she's looking for a way that she can build the community and keep events and communication organized and everyone connected and a little bit more fun, so it doesn't seem like another part of the job, but something that she can inspire people to want to do that. So yeah, those are our 3 people that we are targeting for the Eco Squad user experience.
Hello everyone, this is Sonia. I'm going to take you through the Echo Squad product requirements. So as my previous colleagues, Megan and Diana, have shared with you the research and what our business vision, strategies, and goals are, and then Megan's taken you through the personas and kind of our target audience. I'm going to now kind of take you through actual Echo Squad website product requirements. So the first thing we kind of have, I've boiled this up to kind of some major functions. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is just kind of the absolute kind of primary goal that we had, and that's allowing people to set up their own Echo Squad chapters. So that would include, an application process, setting up communities, being able to handle sponsors, and then setting up membership dues. And then from there, kind of the secondary layer that we have to that, which is kind of going to be kind of the hub, is all of the member features and activities within the website and pages themselves. So that's everything from managing registration for new members and users to managing existing profiles for those that are already active within the Echo Squad community. Also, being able to start new projects and close out projects. Also, paying of dues for those projects that require such elements. And then also allowing the communities and groups and projects within themselves to be able to access group announcements, create those announcements, and then have a calendar of events, some things that are ongoing longer or even short term. And then, of course, as we've mentioned before, allowing members within the Echo Squad network community to be able to connect with other social networks outside of this the Echo Squad walls. Mobile app, so that is another key requirement for the website, that we wanted to ensure that even during launch for the initial phase, that we had a mobile app version of the site and content available, as we know many of our members and members, just in people in general, lifestyles, volunteers that would be participating in the Echo Squad community. A lot of times are on the go, working with tablets or their smartphones, so we wanted to be able to supply that mobile app. And then from a design specification, so there's kind of some key things that we want to call out and bring to your attention as we think about the requirements for the site. And that's, again, having it be mobile friendly and responsive design. So no matter what, if they're actually on a traditional laptop or desktop or tablet, or at this point even smartwatch, being able to access that content in the best possible way, to ensure that whatever they're doing in the offline world, the information that's online, they're able to get to. And then overall, making the Echo Squad site and pages be a part of a clean design, with some handcrafted design style elements. So making sure it all kind of fits together from a branding, whether that's something you're looking at on video, paying the dues screen, or setting up your profile, or even just putting up an announcement about an upcoming event, making sure all that typography, photographs, illustrations, anything, all ties into the overall look and feel of the site. And then last but not least, I think this is an important element to call out and bring to your attention: the ability to have the website and pages incorporate video, motion, and social media feeds. So we know it's just not about copy text and pretty pictures anymore, really allowing those interactive elements to work well within the space. So here next, I want to kind of take you at a high level through the user experience design map that we worked with you to kind of flow out. And so I'm just going to make this just a little bit bigger so we can take a look at this. And pardon me, I'm just going to bring this up here. All right. Let's see if we can just make this full screen for you. Okay. All right. So with that, we kind of looked at it in a couple different buckets. So the first one is just really getting started. So you kind of have a work user experience flow of what a new user would go through, and then from once they set up their profile, allowing them to invite new friends, and also then moving into searching for a new product. Then also then from an existing user, those existing users having the same ability to invite friends to see what they're working on, or even get them involved in the Echo Squad community, search for new projects, or even for themselves creating new projects. That would go with this workflow. Over here, we kind of outlined a workflow for setting up an initial Echo Squad chapter. So again, our primary focus is getting people to create more chapters, be a part of the kind of social action movement. And so this workflow takes the user through how they would set up. So everything from finding an application, completing the application form, getting the application to submit to the national network, and then having statuses along the way. So each part of that application process being to know, it's in progress. Maybe there's some need for more information. So all of that going through the same workflow. And then once applications or chapters are approved, then helping the chapter admin administration team being able to handle sponsors as far as collecting funding for their different initiatives, and the same as in once they set up their projects or chapters, being able to set up membership dues, whether that's on a monthly or annual or biannual basis, being able to manage that funding from beginning to end and getting budget reports and etc. So that is the user experience map. And I'm just going to back out and we'll return to our presentation. And then from there, phase 2. So once we get approvals on the design map user flow, we'll move into what we call our phase 2, and that would involve wireframing. And then from there, once wireframes are approved and we feel really good about where we are with each individual page, and even from a mobile design page, then we'll move into what we'll do actual design comp. So that's bringing the kind of page framework together with the branding and colors and typography and all of that stuff that, like we like to say, makes it pretty in the design world. And then from there, we will then move into some UAT testing to make sure from a user experience standpoint that we are aligned to the objectives that we're trying to achieve. So again, really trying to make a one-stop shop for the individual who's really interested in giving back to the community, being environmental friendly, making sure everything they need to make their offline world project successful, making sure that's all in one spot. And then once we get through UAT testing and revisions, the last step then will be a beta release of the project. All right. So again, just to kind of recap a little bit before we close out here, again, challenges. So a lot of it, some sites like Tate Park and New York City Change, they have great social media, and other sites maybe don't have such great social media, but they have the content. So Echo Squad is really about taking those challenges, the hindrance that we're finding out there in our competitive set, and making that our kind of a competitive advantage. So that's really where the opportunity is. And again, our target audience is not just that casual volunteer that does a volunteer project at a local park or beach every once in a while, but really going after those individuals that are really interested in every day doing something in the community, really taking action, bringing light to a social cause or issue. Like it's taking it to the next level, those individuals that are actually out there doing something versus just kind of doing it when it feels good every once in a while. And then from there, again, as we talked about, the user experience. So that has got to be knowing that the type of individuals that will be using Echo Squad. It's really about making sure that user experience makes sense from A to Z. All right. So we thank you for your time on behalf of Megan and Diana. We appreciate your time today and look forward to working with you on phase 2.